Ladies and gentlemen, the program will start in 1 minute. Please take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, the program will start in 1 minute. Please take your seats. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome MATC President, Dr. Anthony Cruz.
Good morning, MATC. How's everybody? This is a marvelous morning. We're on fire this morning, right? In a good way. That's right. So, let's get started with this great morning and this day and the next couple of days as we kick off this academic year. And you know, we get fired up for many things here at the college, but I think the number one thing is our students. And right on the screen there, you see Martin Kennedy and his son Markel. And Martin was always interested in cars while he was growing up, but his family never had dependable transportation. Before Martin's mother passed away in May of 23, she encouraged him to attend college. So Martin enrolled in our automotive maintenance technical program, but the story really began when he met our very own Dr. Reggie Parks. Dr. Parks is a retention coach in our MATC Drive program, and Dr. Parks took a very simple step. He talked to Martin. That's it. He just asked him about his goals, his dreams, and his life. He gradually built trust with Martin. And when Martin found out that his girlfriend was pregnant, Dr. Parks listened again. Dr. Parks connected Kennedy with Milwaukee County's Fatherhood Fire Program. The Fire Program is designed to help young parents become more engaged and ready for employment. We will hear more about Dr. Parks later this morning. We are happy to announce that Martin, Markel, and his girlfriend are doing fine. Martin is carrying out the wishes of his mother. He recently was hired as an automotive maintenance technician at Sam's Club. Yes. He worked hard. He had great support And now he is a young man with a great future, earning a family-sustaining wage. Martin represents what MATC is all about, right? Let's give him a hand again. Martin's inspirational story will be featured in our upcoming Transformations magazine that's sent out to 5,000 subscribers. Martin and Markel couldn't be with us today, but I want to make sure that, again, we recognize his courage and also Dr. Parks for his help in helping Martin achieve his dreams. Again, let's give it up for Martin and his family. So today is a wonderful day, like I'd mentioned before, right? We're kicking off the academic year. It's one of my favorite days of the year, next to commencement, because when we actually have our students go across that stage and earn their degrees and diplomas and certificates, to me, that's the greatest day. But this day is equally as important because we welcome all of you back into the college and making sure that we're ready for the new year. So welcome back to all our faculty and staff who have joined us here today and also at our different campuses. And I just want to make sure I acknowledge any of you that have joined us, any faculty or staff that have joined us since the last time we met in January. So if you joined us, you're pretty new to the college, just give us a wave. All right. Thank you for choosing MATC, all of you. Thank you so much. Well, I have a year and 1 month under my belt. It's been a wonderful and sometimes wild ride, but I am excited and ready for more. By now, you've heard me say, and I hope that you've seen in action, that students first is my core philosophy. That's right, students first. As we're going about our work, we should enter in ourselves and be centered about our students. Students expect us to have a servant mentality and the service-minded in our behaviors and our actions. So, as you're providing instruction, think students first. As you are supporting them with academic and non-academic services so they could be successful, students first. You can say it too, you know. Okay, I'm trying to lead you into students first there. As you're creating the physical and visual environments that help students thrive, think. All right, now we got it, MATC. As you're providing and sharing information about mental and physical health services that we care about. As you provide financial services and support so they can go and continue with their studies, we think students first. All right. And as I and our administration are working to support faculty and staff that you have the resources you need to support our students, we're thinking students first. So this support is my pledge to you as we begin this new academic year. Now, we just featured a great student, right? And what he has done to uplift himself and his family. Now let's focus on our faculty, one of our faculty members. Karen Feliciano. Yeah. Lead faculty instructor in our welding department, knows about delivering for students. Karen has been with the college since 2021, having moved to Milwaukee from Puerto Rico when she was 15 years of age. She earned a degree in welding from Waukesha County Technical College. She started a welding program with us in June of 2022 with 15 bilingual students. The first cohort graduated in the spring of 2023, and also had another cohort of 32 that received their technical diplomas in May of 2024. She has gained the respect of her peers and the college administration for her leadership. And in July of 2024, she was honored as the Women in Construction Educator of the Year by the Daily Reporter. Congratulations to Karen, and thanks for your service to our students. One of my pledges is to raise the profile of this college so we can serve more students and deliver skilled talent pipeline to our region. In keeping with this pledge, in May we launched our new strategic plan, Ascend Together. This new strategic plan provides us with a clear, focused framework for advancing our mission as a college. We are focused on 3 strategic priorities. First, student success. Our students gain the knowledge and skills they need to succeed. Secondly, community trust. Our partnerships will expand and provide more regional economic opportunity. And third, a caring culture. Our employees model care and professionalism in every interaction they have with each other and with our students. The Ascend Together strategic plan is outlined on, I'm going to get it here, on this card that you can receive on your way out. And it's something very handy to keep so you understand what the priorities are as we go forward for the next 5 years. And we will continue to set presidential goals to move us in that direction. In July, I also laid out some bold targets that I believe we can reach in the next 5 years. These key indicators will let us know if we are actually reaching our overall goals in the plan. By 2030, we will seek to return to enrollment measured in full-time equivalent students to 12,000. We have not seen these levels for more than 10 years. The enrollment bold target helps us ensure our ongoing sustainability as an institution, and more importantly, reflects a commitment to serving an even larger part of our community. It also feeds into another 5-year target. We will achieve a higher level of recognition through the Carnegie Student Access and Earnings Classification. This Carnegie classification is something new to 2-year colleges, and it evaluates higher education institutions just like us. The classification is based on our success in serving students from diverse backgrounds and our graduates and their subsequent earnings when they go into the workforce. So increasing economic mobility is the challenge. We will focus on connecting students to careers that will truly be family sustaining and capable of ending generations of poverty. That's right. But for us to reach that bold target, everyone has to buy in and engage to ensure a shared, focused future for an MATC that achieves even higher levels. What I hear from business partners and community leaders is our technical colleges throughout the state have flown under the radar for far too long. They tell me that the more that we engage with them, the more they understand and the more they value what we do on a daily basis as a college. For the 3rd straight year, student enrollment at MATC has increased. Woo-hoo! Yes. Our 2024-25 full-time equivalent enrollment grew by 6% compared to the prior year. The trend continues a period of growth for the college since the pandemic. And our preliminary fall 2025 enrollment is trending up 11% compared to where we were last year. And I'm pleased to report also that our new student orientation attendance is up. We have had over 500 students attend the sessions thus far this week, including a record 80 students at our Mequon campus. Yes. I appreciate the work of Janelle Berry and the new Student Orientation Committee for bringing this along. So I think with what's going on right now, the support that we're providing to the students and everything we're doing, that the goal to reach 9,500 FTE for this year is well within our reach. So I sincerely thank the recruitment, enrollment, admissions, marketing, our faculty, and all who have made it possible to make sure that we have gotten to this point in our enrollment cycle. So thank you all. Let's give everybody a big hand. In February, I introduced the first Voice of the College live sessions. These sessions are an open forum for faculty and staff to discuss and make recommendations about college initiatives to inform our decisions and make us better. The collaboration supports our caring culture priority of the plan. In our first Voice of the College session, we discussed ways the college hires, promotes, and listens to complaints. Suggestions were made, and we hired a human resources firm to deliver recommendations about these processes. We also know that students continue to be our priority. So our second Voice of the College, we looked at persistence and retention rates. Our ongoing opportunity is to figure out the challenges that students have and they're facing, and what can we do to eliminate these barriers so we have fewer achievement gaps. We have seen some improvement over the last few years, but we still have a way to go. We also saw disparities in completion rates between students, white students, and students of color. Closing these gaps is an ongoing effort, and we will make mindfulness and precise decisions to be able to overcome these gaps. The Voice of the College sessions are fulfilling my pledge of getting more input directly from college faculty and staff. We have set dates in October and December for the next two Voice of the College sessions, and I encourage you to send me any types of ideas that you'd like to tackle during those sessions in October and December. We continue working toward becoming a Hispanic-serving institution. I want to express my sincere appreciation to the HSI Steering Committee. They are doing an outstanding job and having an unwavering commitment to our students. For the past 2 years, they have been meeting, strategizing, and executing with cross-functional teams to achieve our goal of reaching that 25% mark of having 25% of our student body Hispanic full-time students. We are almost there. So last year in October when we measured it, we were at 23.4%. Very close, right? So hopefully by this October, we will reach that 25% mark. We do not know for certain what decisions will come out of Washington, D.C. that will impact our HSI goal. We do not know whether achieving the HSI status will come with federal funding for scholarship services and other things to help our students. What I do know is that we remain focused and vigilant on delivering our commitment to serve a diverse student population with or without the HSI designation. Like other colleges, we receive federal financial support. In May, I informed you that the U.S. Congress was considering changes to the Pell Grant eligibility that could have had really some negative impacts on our students and our college as a whole. We are so glad that that legislation did not pass. Last year, MATC students received $24.6 million in Pell Grants and $25.7 million in student loans. In addition, we have student support systems funded by a federal Perkins program, and many of our students participate in our college work-study program. Most recently, we were worried about losing our AFL funds that support our community education programs, ESL and GED. The great news is that the Department of Education released the funds just last week, and we're able to fund this whole fiscal year as we have been in years past. And indeed, this was welcomed news. Very good news for the college, for our employees, for our students who depend on this funding in order to provide these services and the education that they're receiving. But unfortunately, I see this as a momentary reprieve. The struggle continues, and we need to continue to fight for these funds and other federal funds to make sure that we will continue to receive them on an ongoing basis. One more claps. We'll continue to fight. Now, our colleagues at Milwaukee PBS have not been as fortunate. Significant funding has been cut from local and national public broadcasting. And our community relies on Milwaukee PBS for quality local and national programming. Federal funds account for 19% of the budget for Milwaukee PBS. And we did receive the news that that 19% was cut this year. So I know that Debbie Hamlet and her team are focused on how to best recoup those funds and looking at different means to do so. But I am confident in that team, in PBS, and that we will continue to provide excellent programming to our community. We continue to monitor changes at the federal level and adjust as needed. We are focused on building relationships, arranging campus visits, and educating our legislators on a nonpartisan basis about the outcomes and our fabulous student stories. We have also contacted state and federal legislators during this sensitive time to showcase how we serve our students. In April, MATC hosted a legislative breakfast with the intent to showcase the work that all of you do here at the college. We spotlighted our EMS program, apprenticeships, our line worker program, and we also shined a light on our healthcare pathway and the future healthcare workforce. We also spotlighted our manufacturing, construction, and transportation pathway. I'm grateful for all of you that have called or written to your Congress representatives to oppose the drastic cuts that have been in the media, in legislation for the last several months. So I promise you again, we are not silent on this issue, and we will continue to address these issues with our legislators, because at the end of the day, we are fighting for our students. And we're also thinking about you, the employees, the great employees of MATC. We're rolling out a few initiatives. We're in the process of implementing a new online employee recognition platform called Motivacity. Motivacity encourages all employees to recognize direct reports, peers, and other colleagues. Also, there's a new health and wellness affinity group that's been created, and they're seeking your input about your health and wellness needs. I also see, when I go across campuses, I see many of you walking around in groups, right? Getting your exercise, especially when the weather is great outside. We want to continue to encourage that and get your exercise out there. And I'm also excited to share that HR is partnering with public health to bring new wellness initiatives to our campus community. All of these initiatives are to promote employee well-being and connectivity, which is a tenet under our caring culture strategic priority. Now, you all have been invited to the presidential investiture on September 19th. And many of you say, what is an investiture? It's a strange word, isn't it? But it's a tradition, a very long tradition in higher education as a formal academic ceremony to officially welcome an incoming college leader. And so this will be a celebration here at this campus for all employees across all our campuses, where we welcome employees, business and community leaders from throughout the state. Also, our regional campuses will be hosting community connection events. This is a time for me to connect with employers and community partners, school district leaders, and local government officials. So, great things happening at MATC, and they will continue to happen. But the most important thing to think about is that our community is counting on us to drive greater student success. Most importantly, our students are counting on us to deliver an education that connects them to their dreams, just like Martin. Thank you for engaging our students and our vision, and for being here today. I encourage you all to take advantage of the activities today and tomorrow. And thank you for everything that you do for our students and for our community. I am privileged to be your president, privileged to be in Milwaukee, and an honor to serve all of you. Thank you. It's now my pleasure to pass the baton to members of the team who will introduce our We Care recipients. Have a wonderful day.
Good morning, everybody. As we do these awards, there's 3 of them. Our pictures are up first, so I'm not your awardee. I'm Philip. I'm provost, but I'm up here today, and it's a pleasure to be up here today. And the important part here is we have some excellent people at this college, a lot of you. And we honor people with We Care awards. They're very important. So without further ado, I'm up here to honor our We Care award winner, Roshea Shea Anderson. And if she can come and join me on the stage. There we are. You don't need another picture of me. Come on up. If you can stand right next to me. So this is Shay. Many of you know her. All right. Shay works as a pathway advisor, as you can see up there, for Community and Human Services, our SERVE pathway, and has been employed with MATC since 2021. Shay consistently goes above and beyond in her role, demonstrating exceptional professional competence, outstanding service, and dedication to our students and colleagues. Students praise her for her patience and kindness as she helps them navigate complex systems, find the right courses, and even walk them through the aid appeal process. Her commitment extends beyond her direct responsibilities, as evidenced by her assisting a colleague with an urgent request for a class roster and helping a frustrated student who wasn't even assigned to her, ensuring they received the service they needed. What truly distinguishes Shay is her profound empathy and her personal impact she has on those around her. She has a remarkable ability to provide not only academic support, but essential encouragement during difficult times. She is credited with helping a student overcome their fears about returning to school and speaking life into another who failed all their classes. Most impressively, she assisted a student and their family facing homelessness by providing emergency placement resources. Shay's combination of professional expertise, compassionate listening, and selfless action makes her an invaluable member of our team and truly deserving candidate for this award. Thank you. Congratulations, Shay.
Good morning. Not me. I'm here to recognize Dr. Reggie Parks. We heard a little bit about him already earlier today. Is Dr. Parks here? Dr. Parks is a retention coach for the transportation program within the manufacturing, construction, and transportation pathway. And he has been employed at MATC since 2019. Reggie continuously goes beyond the ordinary to serve his students. And this is the second time he has been selected as an MATC We Care winner, previously in 2019. Reggie identified a need in 2021 to assist the growing number of young fathers. We saw that demonstrated a little earlier in the transportation program, who are in need of developing parental skills and the ability to balance fatherhood and school. In 2025, he applied for and received a WTCS Innovation Grant, empowering young fathers, tune up and tune in. He held lunch and team workshops and events that incorporated city and county partner resources to assist the fathers in their journey. And he presented his findings and successes at the WTCS statewide conference this past fall. Dr. Parks goes above and beyond for all of his students, but one student in particular, whom he works with, has some mental health challenges that at times can become overwhelming and interfere with the student's progress in school. Dr. Parks has cultivated a wonderful professional relationship with this student and has coordinated with both the student's community-based treatment team and our own BIT team to ensure that he has the support he needs to stay on track with his courses. Dr. Parks is an amazing student advocate and a great asset to our MATC community. Dr. Parks, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Parks. I have the wonderful opportunity to introduce another We Care winner. Instructor Hughes Crawford, known as Crash. Crash works as a part-time instructor at the Audio 117 Sound Reinforcement class in the audio program of the Creative Arts Design and Media Pathway and has been with MATC since 2021. He also serves the MATC community as Deputy Vice President for part-time faculty in the American Federation of Teachers, Local 212. Crash, and I like the name, right? Crash is someone we have come to depend upon a great deal. This is from students for our live sound classes. Students really enjoy learning from you because you instill current industry and professional knowledge of running such programs to our students. By every sense of the word, you are a true rock star. And it shows, right? And we appreciate and we appreciate the talent that you bring and your positive attitude. Last year, you went an extra mile to support events in the Cooley Auditorium when the C Auditorium was under construction. You're always looking to find ways to make every experience relevant to our students, and we appreciate that. At the time of writing, you assisted at least 10 of the former students in securing employment in the live event industry. Here are a few stories about Crash. Shortly after the start of the fall semester, a full-time audio student, just one semester shy of graduation, was involved in an altercation that resulted in the student suffering a gunshot wound. Fortunately, while not fatal, the injuries sustained placed the student on a long path to recovery involving multiple surgeries and physical therapy. As soon as the student was out of surgery, he immediately began to worry about what would happen to him upon discharge and where to go. He was living in his car prior to the assault and had no transportation to even take him to a temporary place to stay. Friends and relatives proved unable or unwilling to help. Then he remembered the great support, the great rapport he had with his instructor from the spring semester of 2024. And this instructor is Crash. He said Crash demonstrated a passion for teaching, compassion for students, and encouraged the curiosity of learning and taking risks. The student asked Crash if he could give him a ride from the hospital since he had no one else. Crash could see that this was a dire need, and he knew he had to help and be there for the student. After the student was situated, Crash then collaborated with other team leaders in the Creative Arts Design and Media pathway to allocate internal MATC and outside community agency resources to support the students. True, it takes a village, but Crash was definitely a critical piece to bring it all together so this student could continue his education and achieve his goal to graduate on time. Thank you, Crash. That's it from me. We are now going to see all those who were nominated for the We Care contest. And you know what? You see some double stars. Some people have been nominated a couple of times. Others have been nominated 3 times. I'd like us to thank every one of these individuals who has been nominated but didn't win. They are all winners. Let's give them a round of applause.
Hey guys, thank you so much for being here today. My name is Samantha Burgos. I'm a bilingual retention coach supporting math students, and we are about to have a wonderful student panel with some of our MATC students here. Hang on just a sec. Thank you for your patience.
We're still going through these slides.
There I am. So we're going to go ahead and do a couple introductions, and then we're going to be asking our students some questions and hearing some reflections and experiences here at MATC. So you've heard me. Let's go ahead and move over to Beth.
Good morning, everyone. Oh, you can do better than that. Good morning, everyone. Oh, I love you guys. Hi, I'm Bev Johnson. I'm a faculty in the hospitality program in the business pathway. Yeah, woohoo!
So we'll go ahead and have our students introduce themselves.
Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Wilmer Valderrama. I'm an international student from Colombia. I'm currently in the civil engineering program. I just graduated from my quality engineering program in the spring semester. Well, something that really interests me about the civil engineering program is that right now I've been taking some of the classes in the engineering field. I really like them, so I just want to continue with my studies here at MATC.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name's Alexis. I am in the business pathway. I'm a transfer student, so my experience transferring to MATC has been great so far. All of my teachers and all the staff have been super welcoming. My plan with my pathway is to further my career in business. I've currently been working in retail management for about 5 years now, so I want to further my education to set a competitive advantage for myself in my career.
Good morning, everybody. My name is William Musoke. I'm an international student, and I'm in the STEM pathway. Shout out to Dr. Jenkins. I do cybersecurity, and I am also a student leader, and I got the privilege to serve as the Lieutenant Governor in Wisconsin's student government. I am also a student employee working with Student Life, and I believe many of you have seen me give them their employee badges. I love working with everybody, and because I'm attracted to solving issues, solving problems, That's why I chose IT and leadership, because both of those two are conjoined twins. I would say they all lock out threats, they build trust, and they do problem solving. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. Good morning to all of you. My name is Chinetta Winfield. I am in the culinary program because I would like to be a chef. I'm from Chicago. I was born and raised in Chicago. And I was born deaf because my mother had the German measles. And I think about, my mom, she's the reason why I joined school. My mom wants me to have a deaf-owned business, and I decided that that's what I want to be a business owner. Nice. For being a deaf business owner, that's possible, and that's what I want to be.
Well, thank you so much, everybody, for introducing yourselves. We're really excited to hear a little bit about how it's been for you here at MATC. So we're going to go ahead and ask a couple of questions, and we'll start with Chinetta and work this way for our first question.
So the first question for Janetta is, what is the most important thing that has helped support your success at MATC?
Well, I wanted to make sure, actually let me back up. I wanted to say that I get excited at the start of every semester. I enjoy going to school, and I make sure to go every day. And I don't ever want to lose points, so I make sure to show up. And I'm trying to think what else I wanted to say. But I wanted to make sure that, that I'm attending school and getting my education. I work really, really hard to go to class. I make sure that I'm studying for those final exams. I'm making sure to do all of my work in class.
Awesome, thank you. Thank you so much. Now we'll move on to the second question.
Should we? We're gonna hold on that second question and give everybody a chance to answer that first question because we have a little bit of time. Do you want to ask it again?
Yes, let me repeat the question. What is the most important thing that has helped support your success at MATC?
Where should I start? Because it's been a concoction of so many things. The first one has been the support that I've always been receiving from the different tutors. And I have three in particular that I still remember off my head. And the first one is Mr. El Sharif. I don't know whether he's in the building. Oh yes, that gentleman over there.
Woo-hoo! Yes.
Reason is, he not only teaches you, but he calls onto you. He says, hey, do you have any problems? He sits with you and you sort out the issue with him. So if I don't give him his flowers, I'll be a liar. Then the second person is Madame Charisse Scott. Is she around?
Is she here?
Charisse, getting a shout out for math. Hey.
Flowers! Reason why I say this is I had a bad experience with my math back in my first bachelor's. I did it in Uganda, and teachers in my country, especially those that teach specific classes like math, physics, and chemistry, all they do is scare you out of it. You know? But the lady was like, hey, you could do this. Try this number. So she builds in this responsibility inside of your head and the confidence that you could do this math regardless. And I didn't think I could get a B. Guess what? I got it. So, and then on top of the other tutors, there's a gentleman in the computer lab called Trevor. He's always with you. He checks on you. He bugs you. He follows you up, even where you go. It's like, did you do the number? Did you finish it? You know? And that, on top of that, I should also give myself flowers for the resilience, you know? I've been really resilient, keeping hard to do everything possible to pass my classes, regardless of the time I have. Yeah.
Thank you.
What has contributed to my success has been just getting to know the staff here and knowing the campus, knowing the spaces that are open and available for me to study. I love that MATC has long hours. I often stay in different spaces for like the entire day, so having that resource available for me has been great. Also, just knowing that all of the staff here is confident in answering any of my questions has also been helpful, so I definitely appreciate everyone that I've come into contact with.
Thank you. Thank you.
Something that has helped me succeed here at MATC is definitely the people, the network that I have built here at MATC. Everyone who it's been in my life right now here in the States. My family from the Career Hub, because I'm also a student ambassador there. So shout outs to Career Hub. The people in the bilingual office, Norma Flores. I'm gonna say all the people from the international student office as well, that at some point and now is working with us in this project that we have in here. Just wanna let you guys know that we are now in a new group here at MATC, that is International Students Association. So that's a new project that we just started this semester, and we're willing to be successful with that project as well. So thank you to Rebecca and to Carla that is working in this. Also thank you to Dr. Cruz for support this project. I'm gonna say all the different instructors that they've been in my program, in my path here at MATC. Everyone in any office that knows me already, and all the support and the help that they gave me already. It's been something like really meaningful for me, and I think the success is on everyone, each one of you guys are here right now.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
So Wilmer, you've got the microphone, so why don't we start the next question with you? So from your perspective, what are the challenges students experience at the start of the semester?
Okay, so I'm a student working, as I was mentioned before. At the Career Hub, we have many students coming very lost. So I'm gonna say the difficulty for students to get the information, the accurate information, and to definitely get the support that they need. It's really hard. It was hard for me as an international student with difficulty with my language as well. Now I can't even imagine a new student just coming from high school and then trying to look for information here. Sometimes you find the right people, sometimes you don't, unfortunately. So I'm gonna say the information is the main resource that you need here at MATC. Even when you're lost in the campus, or if you need to go to an office, get any specific resource from a professor, tutoring, they don't know anything. Even if they come here to orientation, it's gonna be hard for them to get all the information right away. So I'm gonna say the information that the offices can provide. If I'm in the Career Hub office, I already know some of the departments here at MATC, and even if it's not my job, I'm willing to help them as well. I would like to see that reflecting in the staff members as well. because sometimes it's really hard for you, like as a student employee, trying to help a student, and then you're going to an office and you don't see that like passion as well to try to help the student. So that's something that is really difficult for me as a student, and also for students that are new and are just going to start here at the MATC.
Thank you.
So for me, I struggled with connecting with my instructors in the beginning of my college career. Again, MATC has been great. Everyone that I've met here has been amazing. So I think one of the big challenges are coming into the classroom on the first day and internally knowing that your instructor is that point of contact for you when things kind of get shaky, either in your outside life or with your schoolwork. So sometimes it's hard to understand as a student when an instructor is telling you, hey, reach out to me, let me know if you have any questions, and making that connection internally to actually know that and trust that. I think just working on that outside of school and actually trusting my instructors has helped me succeed in that area. But the instructors also play a huge part. So again, I appreciate everyone that I've met at MATC because you all have been super welcoming in that transition.
Well, when you look at the start of my semester back in the day, you would realize that because I was an international student, I had no awareness of the availability of the resources that I had to my disposal to help me succeed. This included student orgs like Men of Color Initiative. This included
Men of Color Initiative. Let's hear a round of applause.
The statement, given the current political situation in the country, diversity, equity, and inclusion. I know it's a hard statement to make now, but to me as a student, I knew that would build me up when I found out about it. Majority of the students that come to school have no idea of how they could receive the help that is readily available for them. But this is also a challenge that I faced as a person firsthand, and I struggled so hard. For those that could see my results right at the start, you could tell just by the way I was performing. And when I got to know about these resources in the school, I realized school is easy. It's not like the way it was back home in Uganda, where you have to do everything by yourself and for yourself. The major issue a student always faces is the financial constraints. You know, they would love to go back to school, but then the money comes in. With every class, it's at least $200, and at the end of the day, you end up having a debt over $3,000 or more. You don't qualify for financial aid. Who is there to help? And then there is a lady. I don't know whether she's in the house. Sarah. Is Sarah here?
Sarah Kappert.
Yes, please. She is in the Chakota program, and it is through DEI, Men of Color Initiative. I have to talk about it over and over because it is from them that I got to know Sarah, which Sarah helped me a lot in succeeding in my classes, paying for my school, getting my rent paid, getting my parking gotten, you know? So if somebody does not know about these things, Now we don't know whether MOCI is in existence anymore. We don't know whether there is such a thing as DEI in school. So somebody comes in, say a returning student, thinking they would find DEI, and they have no idea. There is no way on any door showing DEI, and they are lost. Performance goes down. The intent of them starting and completing is now frail. So those are the biggest challenges. Then the other second challenge is the instructor themselves. Okay, they've not seen any help elsewhere. How about the instructor? Because look at a child, a school dropout. Look at a teenage mother. Look at that ex-convict. All of these individuals have chosen to come back to transform their lives through education. Problem is, they found the wrong person that is also stressed. This instructor is not giving them time to listen to them, hear them out, understand where they are, walk with them through this journey of transformation. And how would they not complete their education if that instructor helped them? How would they not change their mindset if that instructor stood with them, stood by them, and for them?
Thank you.
Thank you.
So again, I can't emphasize enough, I'm so excited for the semester to start. And each start of the semester, I make sure that I meet with the instructor as well as the other students. And I like when we're interacting with each other. So we're just getting some clarification for a moment. Sam, would you mind saying the question again?
From your perspective, what are the challenges students experience at the start of the semester?
Oh, I'm answering the wrong one. All right, I'm going to back up.
That's okay.
So each semester, at the start of it, I will meet with the teachers and students, and if I will meet with the teacher to help me get organized. I try to write down everything I need, and I can't remember what else I wanted to say.
Take your time.
If you think of it, do you want us to come back to you?
Do you want us to come? Yes. Yes, that'd be great.
Yes. Thank you.
The next question we have for the students is, how can we support you inside and outside the classroom at the start of a semester? I'm sorry, I was kind of slow with that. Give me a second. Let me try that again. How can we support you inside and outside the classroom at the start of the semester?
Why don't we start with William?
Okay, so like I said earlier, the instructor should be my parent, my friend. No, I shouldn't call her or him my therapist, but a person that I could. But let me call them a person that I could confide in and gain the courage to build up, to share my weaknesses in the specific area that we all are brought together in. Because that way, it will be easier for us to relate with each other. It will be easier for her or him to understand me and me to understand them, to get better. because all we need is success, right?
Right.
All we need is a student to get that A or progress in your class. So welcome me in. Bring me in like you mean it. Don't welcome me like I'm just your paycheck. No. Instead, welcome me like you love what you do. Do you get what I mean? Be intentional with helping me succeed and understanding what you're teaching me. Let me apply what you're teaching me. Let me have it at heart instead of just teaching for the sake of ending the semester. For me, that means more to me than anything else. That's all.
Excellent. Thank you.
A big thing for me is having work-school balance. So I know a lot of students are working full-time jobs. Well, I know that I am outside of my studies. So knowing like the deadlines, knowing the syllabus, having conversations consistently on when things are due, even though I do have that responsibility within myself to be on top of those things. Those conversations are appreciated in the classroom to make sure that I'm staying on track. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think MATC have a lot of resources here. We are a big college, and I feel like the way how you can support us inside of the school, it should be like the instructors providing all that information that we have. Like the first day of class, understanding that not all the students have all the information right away. So be mindful about everyone in the class, and be mindful about everyone in the classroom that it's like different, that have like different background. Like we are a really diverse college here. So I'm gonna say like provide that information, even if the person is not asking, if you realize like this person is having a bad time or is not like really good in grades, providing that support in the time that you feel like it's okay or when you feel like this person is not okay. Also provide extra information about the other resources that we have. It's not only like my job as a instructor. If I know that MATC has support like some like other coaches that maybe can like give any extra help to the student, I will say like maybe tell the student about this information as well. Like I don't think like we are missing something at MATC. If we are, that's probably something that is not in my view right now, but I feel like we have a lot of resources, a lot of people, a lot of good workers, and sometimes the students are not able to find this right person, right? And out of the school, I feel like be also mindful with the students that have to work and also study. It's very difficult for them try to have the balance between work and studies. So understand that situations as well. And I think, yeah, that's pretty much everything.
Thank you.
So for me, looking back, I really wish I had more time management skills and to be supported that way. Yeah, I just felt like it was really a tough skill to learn, so getting more support there. And I think that's really it for me.
Thank you.
Excellent.
So we'll head over to our last question, and we'll start with Alexis and kind of work around town. What actions can your instructor take for the first day of class to set you up for success?
So kind of repeating what I said before, making that personal connection, like getting to know your students and letting us know like a little bit about yourselves definitely helps create that connection to help students feel comfortable coming to you when they have questions in the classroom. Also, making sure to go over the syllabus. I know all instructors do that, but just an emphasis on keeping up with that throughout the semester can be super helpful for those of us balancing school and work. And then just letting us know about like any other resources that you personally as an instructor might have available or have knowledge on, even if it's not really a part of the MATC foundation. I think that also helps create connection in the classroom and opens our eyes as students to what else is out there and making that connection that our studies are not just in this building, but can be carried outside of the classroom, which for me personally helps me stay focused.
Great idea. Great.
So I guess instructors are not only like a person who is in the classroom just providing like knowledge to the students. I guess they should also inspire the students. Like, don't be just this transactional person, just like I'm gonna give you my knowledge and that's it. Like, inspire the student to be like, you are my mentor and I wanna follow the steps that you've been doing. Because I know for sure like all the people here, like the instructors that we have here are the best of the best. So I guess if we are the best of the best, we should actually provide the students that inspirational part as well. Like, if the students show me that you are somebody who I can like follow as well, I guess it's going to be something really inspirational for the student just to like, I don't know, like be aware of where I am and what I wanted to do with these classes that I'm taking. So it's not only a transaction, as I was saying, like it's something else, like inspire the student from the beginning, like, hey, I'm this person, I have all this background, and you can be somebody like me as well. You can be somebody that could be succeed in the future if you follow my steps and follow my advice as well, because you are like a father in another situation, like teaching them and showing them like how's life and work. So I think definitely that should be like something important for me, from the instructors to the students, and also providing all the information that we have here, as I was mentioned before.
Good point. Good.
So I like to meet everyone in class. I like when we do those icebreaker activities. I like to be able to interact with everyone in the classroom so we learn about each other. And, you know, the other students as well as the teacher. You know, I think that helps with communication and comfort. You know, they get used to my signing, and that would really help me at the start of a semester.
Excellent. Thank you.
Like I'd said earlier, on a PR perspective, I would ask if it be possible for instructors to have at least a bit of every information that, say, Student Life has, Career Hub has, resources that are readily available for students, like say bus passes, how to get it and where, because these instructors are the very mouthpieces of the campus for students that don't readily find these facilities. For example, we have students online that the only thing they know how to do is how to log into Blackboard, you know, and they cannot navigate through, they don't know how to check their emails, but they know how to go to Blackboard. And they could log online for a class. So how about instructors use this opportunity to tell students about the resources that are available for them so that at least they have a clue about it. It's so many times people have come to us in student life asking about financial aid. They've come to ask about scholarships. They've come to ask about even how to go throughout, go through around the entire school, navigate through the school, how to go to their classes, and how to know what their pathways are. So how about if that time the instructor gets into contact with that student, knows a bit of at least things like that to help them out so that they ease their time around school.
Excellent, thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
We would like to take the time to thank our unique panel, our diverse panel, for their perspective. They gave us a lot of gold nuggets today, did they not? Can we please show our appreciation? As we conclude this, we want to take 5 minutes for everyone in the audience to think about what you've heard today. I think the students provided some great information, some great suggestions, and some great shout outs. Did anybody get a shout out today? Who got a shout out? All right, congratulations. So please take a moment, take 5 minutes to speak with the person on your left, on your right, or in front of you or behind you, and talk about what are 2 things you got out of the discussion today. And then we will bring on Eric and Sergi to give us the next portion of the morning. Thank you for your time. And thanks again, panel.
Please be seated. Just a few more minutes. There's one more section of the program. Please do not leave the auditorium. Ladies and gentlemen, please do not leave the auditorium. There's one more section to go. Thank you.
right, everyone.
Hello.
All right, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started with our next session. We'll start the. I don't think it's picking this up.
Hello.
It's good? Okay. All right, everyone. We'll go ahead and get started with our next session really quick. And, if we can, one more time, let's give a round of applause to our student panelists. Thank you. Yeah, it's always great to hear from the students. And so what we wanted to do in our session is to provide you a little bit about student success data, specifically around the student satisfaction inventory, which we'll get into here in a second, to kind of compare like what we've seen in some of the data to what our students shared today. So my name's Eric Zymans. I'm your Director of Institutional Research and Data Analytics. And with me today I have Sergi.
Hey, everybody. My name is Gregory Ware, a.k.a. Sir G. And I just want to thank all of you all for being here today. We got some great information for you and some next steps.
Perfect. So we'll go ahead and jump into it. So today what we're going to go over really quick is we're going to cover what the Student Success Inventory is, talk about some student focus groups that we held off of that data, and then jump into some key themes and an invitation to next steps. So jumping into the SSI and what it was and is the Student Satisfaction Inventory was administered in April to May of 2024. And out of that, we had 1,343 students respond. Now, you might be saying, that's it? Like, we have way more students than that. And you are 100% correct. Typically, though, about 10% is what we expect nationally now for students to respond to online surveys. So in our next steps and invitation, we'll talk a little bit about the collection for this year. So if you ever see an online survey, one thing that you can do is help us out by encouraging your students and students you're connected with to respond, because it really gives us richer data the more students we get respond. But a little bit about the SSI. The question areas include instructional effectiveness, academic advising, registration effectiveness, campus climate, safety and security, recruitment and financial aid, and campus life. And specifically, the questions ask how important the item is, the question item is to the student, and how satisfied they are at MATC with that item. And they're scored on a 7-point scale. And I want to mention that because that combination of how important something is to a student and how satisfied is, really critical to understand when we look at the SSI and the results. Because if they're unsatisfied with something but they don't care about it, it's likely not going to change their opinion of the college. But if they have both, it really adds value. So jumping into some of our top strengths from the SSI, what we saw is, if you want to go to the next slide. Thank you. The top strengths were both items that were ranked both high importance and high satisfaction. And so these are the ones that when we think about our students' experience, they're saying, this is what made my experience great, right? And so one is MATC is inclusive of diversity, which we definitely heard from the student panel. Computers and Wi-Fi are adequate and accessible, which surprised me from my background doing COVID technology and digital equity work. Number 3 was I have an academic plan which specifies which courses I should take. And then lastly, this campus provides online access to services I need. So these were the kind of what was rated there in the SSI survey itself. Jumping over to some of our top challenges, this is where it kind of becomes tricky when looking at the SSI to say, how do we process the challenges? So one way we looked at it was to look at things that were both high importance and low satisfaction. And we put the actual aggregate scores here to the right here, so that way you can understand also when we say these were challenges, the scores aren't like ones, right, as the aggregate. You all are too good and too amazing for us to get ones. And so what we have instead is faculty provide timely feedback about my academic progress was 5.75 out of 7. I am able to register for the classes I need with few conflicts, 5.88 out of 7. The campus is safe and secure, which was 5.92 out of 7. And the quality of instruction I receive in most of my classes is excellent, which is 5.94 out of 7. Now, based on the look at the data, what we can also extrapolate is there's cohorts of students that pull these numbers a little bit down. But overall, these are some things for us to think about when we hear like student feedback and with what Sergi is about to share in a second. So what we did with these is we actually took these challenges and these strengths and we had a student group reflect on them, which I'd like to invite Sergi up now to talk about that process.
All right. So after we collected all of the data, and I know a lot of times data can be very daunting, but I want to kind of just reiterate what Dr. Cruz said earlier. At the end of the day, we are all here for our students. And I want to thank you all again, particularly our faculty in the classroom, working hard with the students, shaping the minds. So what we did was we gathered all of their feedback and we created these student focus groups. And I want to thank Student Life, particularly Amanda Brooks. I don't know if she's out there, but she was one of the key facilitators in designing this session. So I want to thank her for that. But So the student leaders were presented SSI data about the top strengths and the challenges. The students provided feedback about how they experienced the strengths and challenges here at MATC. In groups, the students were asked to identify one small solution and one large solution for 2 of the SSI challenges. The solutions were then shared out and voted on by all the students in that session. And you know, one of the things that I think is important about MATC, we know that we're a Milwaukee area technical college, but I like to say that we are moving aspirations to careers, because we're really about being the bridge to the students that's going to go out into the community. Yeah, give that a round of applause. They're going to go out into the community, they're going to be part of the industry, and it's the industry that really, really runs our community. So I can have the next slide, please. So when we looked at the feedback, we began to put them in what were some of the themes that we saw that the students were saying in their feedback. So the students desire more direct reach out and support, not just during special events. So they kind of want to have more consistency from faculty and from staff. Students want quick and timely connection with faculty and staff. You know, they want things quick. You know, I know we live in this microwave kind of mindset mentality. Everybody wants everything quick. Well, they want that response to be quick as well. Students desire to have clearer paths to the information they are seeking. They want to utilize apps and other helpful tools. Students want to see and understand how they are progressing towards their goals. Students find information sharing through multiple channels such as social media or Blackboard helpful as their emails become overwhelmed. And then the other thing is that students want to feel heard. And that's very, very important, because a lot of times as leaders, which we all are, we have to walk the walk and talk the talk. So for example, we have to lead by example. So we're getting data, and I think the days are gone where we just get data and just analyze it. We have to now start talking about what do we do with the data. We have to be the example for it. Let me show what I mean. Can everybody take a circle with their hands and go just like this? Can you make a circle for me? Put it up high. Y'all paying attention? I don't know if you're paying attention. You got it up high? Okay, now I want you to look at that circle. Bring it down towards your face. No, put it back up. Okay, now bring it back up. Wait, one more time, back up. Pay attention. Okay, now I want you to bring it and put it right here on top of your forehead. Okay, now look around the room. Some people got it on their forehead. Some people got it on their chin. Some people going like this. So why did I ask you, why are some people have it on their forehead? Because I said so. Why do some people have it on their chin? Because they're watching me. We live in a society where a large percentage of people are visual learners. A lot of times people don't do what you ask them to do. They don't do what you tell them to do. They do what they see you do. So our students need to see us walking the walk and talking the talk. We can't keep asking them. We can't keep asking students for feedback and we don't do anything with the feedback. Next slide, please. So that takes us to our next steps. So the focus is really to broaden the scope of feedback so that is a well-balanced audience of contributors. We've heard from the students. Now we want to hear from you all. This will help develop an action plan that is inclusive of all members of the MATC campus community. And not just a plan, but we want to do an action plan, then we want to actually do it, then we want to check and adjust. That's how we bring that continuous quality improvement so that we're always going to be doing the best for our students. So to that end, we're going to host a focus group session with faculty and staff. It'll be similar to the student session. This will be an opportunity for faculty and staff to respond to the SSI survey, offering anecdotes to help close the gap. That's what it is. You're going to look at it, give us some feedback. We're going to break you up in groups. We don't know when that date's going to be right now, but it's going to be soon. And then this people will help us and allow us to truly ascend together. Dr. Philip King is going to be the one that's going to make the decision with you all when that date's going to be. And I think it's going to be this fall. He's like, I don't know. We hope it's going to be this fall so that we can get that feedback, because we really want to start building this action plan so that our students know that we hear them. Now, before I turn it over to Dr. Phil, who's going to close it out, I just want to give you one example why listening is important. I don't know if y'all shop at Walmart. I shop at Walmart. But let me tell you what I love about what Walmart did last year. I went into one of the Walmart stores, and I hate self-checkouts. I don't like self-checkout lane. I think it takes jobs away from people and all of that. But one of the things that they had in the store one time, they had these sandwich board signs when you first walk in. And as I was going to check out, the sign said, "We've heard you, we've listened. Now there are more staffed checkout stations available." And I was like, wow. Not only did they have people fill out surveys, but they're telling the people, they're telling us as customers that we hear you and we're making this change because we heard what you're saying. So as we make change on this campus, let's let the people know who's giving us that feedback that we hear you and we're making a change because we value you. Thank you, Dr. King.
Well, we're right here at the end, so I appreciate being here with you this morning. And as a wrap-up, just think about some of the comments that were made this morning, and even thinking about you in the audience today. You know, as we've held these events, they've gotten a little bigger over time, you know, still post-COVID. So this is a big audience, even opening upstairs. Dr. Cruz was able to make some comments also about where we are with FTE. So thinking about the fact that we've been doing a great job and increasing the amount of contact for students, the availability of education, they're taking advantage of it. So just as our students are taking advantage of it, so are you as you are here and more present. So I appreciate that and seeing you all this morning. I'm greatly appreciative to be working with Dr. Cruz in this past year. As we think forward, as he mentioned this morning, talking about our strategic plan moving forward, commenting about bold targets that we have, and envisioning how we want to move forward in a direction where we can come together as we are this morning to reach something like a 12,000 FTE target. That's extremely important. Centering ourselves around our strategic plan with a cornerstone or our three deltas, as Elle likes to say, of student success and caring culture and community trust. It's really important that we're going to be working together moving forward. So I appreciate being here this morning with you, hearing the student voices, hearing the successful stories of the students who are on stage, giving us feedback. Some of the highlights from Dr. Cruz, as he's indicated, are students who are successful, our faculty who are doing excellent work. It's really important as we move forward into this year. We're in the middle of August, and we'll move through as we think about May. It's a little far out there, but it comes to us a lot quicker than we think. I am appreciative, though, of the people who joined us up here today. So I don't know if Sam Burgos is back in the audience, but to Sam and Bev for helping us run a student panel, thank you very much. As we think about tying it together, too, you know, you've got voices of students, and then you've got Sergi and Eric up here. It's pretty important. We think about surveys and focus groups. It may not necessarily seem that fun or sexy, but it's thinking a lot about getting information from our students, from you, about the focus of the work that we need to do. It's extremely valuable, very important, and you're hearing Sergi every time he's up here with wonderful anecdotes, but really tying together really powerful observations of what we can see in front of us. and the ability for you all, just as he is, seeing what's in front of us, but using it and incorporating it as we work through the year. So thank you to the two of them. I do want to say, so congrats and thanks. We had a fairly large group of people, so I won't mention all of you, but thank you for those who were involved in planning our academic year kickoff. So thanks to that team as well. And I'm not sure if you know, but we have a very small event planning team. So specifically, I'm going to say thank you to Ebony, Neff, and Thomas for getting us going this morning for event planning. Milwaukee PBS for simulcasting to the other campuses, so hello, regional campuses as we're finishing. As we move into the year and as we conclude today, we'll be going upstairs, third floor, over in S, where we do have coffee and some lunches for everybody. So as you're stepping into that, and as we see you through the rest of the afternoon and tomorrow, those are all faculty events this afternoon, all faculty gatherings tomorrow as well, getting you all ready as we start the semester on Sunday and Monday. So look forward to seeing you all up there and in the hallways as we move into the year. So thank you, and we'll see you all later.
Two.